The Ontario line, heralded as Toronto's next transformative transit project, has been both lauded and criticized. This ambitious 15.6-kilometer subway line is projected to run from Exhibition Place in the west to the Ontario Science Centre in the northeast, with 15 new stations. The promise? Well, to relieve overcrowding on TTC's Line 1, better connect underserved areas, and improved access to jobs, housing, and recreation. But as shovels hit the ground, the reality of its impacts on residents, businesses, and the city as a whole has become clearer. Is the disruption worth the reward? Let's get into it. The Ontario line is Toronto's first new subway line, since the opening of the Shepherd line in 2002. It's essentially an updated, extended version of the cancelled Downtown Relief line, with greater scope and a higher price tag. Initially pegged at $10.9 billion in 2019, the cost is now expected to exceed $20 billion. The line is slated to open by 2031, though delays are almost certain given Toronto's track record with major infrastructure projects. The Ontario line is expected to carry 388,000 passengers daily and reduce overcrowding on Line 1 by 22%. It will use lighter, driverless trains, a departure from the TTC's traditional subway fleet. On paper, the Ontario line seems like the solution Toronto transit-starved residents have been waiting for, but the construction process is causing significant upheaval. Construction is underway in multiple locations, including major hubs like Queen Street and Pape Avenue. Residents living near these sites report constant noise, dust, and vibrations. For example, businesses and residents in Riverside and Leslieville, where tunneling is beginning right now, have voiced concerns about cracked foundations, reduced air quality, and relentless disruptions. The closure of Queen Street between Bay and Victoria until 2027 is a stark reminder of the price tag the city is paying for this progress. A major artery for traffic and transit, this closure affects thousands of commuters daily, not to mention the local businesses that rely on foot traffic. To make room for the line, homes and businesses are being expropriated. In Thorncliffe Park, an area with a high population of immigrants and low-income families, several apartment buildings are slated for demolition to accommodate a maintenance and storage facility. This uproots people who already face housing insecurity, and while compensation is offered, it rarely reflects the true cost of being displaced. The construction has already devastated small businesses along the route. Vibrant commercial streets like Queen Street East and Gerrard have seen significant declines in foot traffic as construction fences and detours make storefronts inaccessible. Many business owners feel they've been left in the lurch, with inadequate support from the city or Metrolinx. Ironically, building the Ontario line is causing significant disruptions to Toronto's existing transit network. Streetcar routes have been rerouted, bus stops relocated, and pedestrian access restricted in many areas. While these changes are temporary, they compound the frustrations of commuters already dealing with inconsistent TTC service. Toronto desperately needs more transit capacity. The Yonge University line, which the Ontario line is designed to relieve, is operating beyond its intended capacity, and overcrowding platforms and packed trains becoming the norm. By diverting riders to the Ontario line, the city could ease congestion and improve reliability across the entire system. The line will also serve neighborhoods like Flemington Park and Thorncliffe Park, which currently lack fast, reliable transit options. These areas are home to many low-income residents, and improved transit access could provide better connections to jobs and services, reducing inequities in the city's transit network. Moreover, the Ontario line's integration with GO Transit and TTC lines could help Toronto's entire regional transit network function more efficiently. For example, connecting the Ontario line with the future SmartTrack stations could finally deliver on the promise of a seamless multimodal system. As someone deeply invested in Toronto's transit future, I believe the Ontario line is both necessary and overdue. However, its execution leaves much to be desired. Let's not sugarcoat it. The disruptions are massive, and Metrolinx's handling of the project has been frustrating at best. Incompetent at worst. Toronto is at the breaking point when it comes to transit. Line 1 simply cannot sustain the growing population. With the city expected to add another 700,000 more residents by 2041, doing nothing is not an option. The Ontario line has the potential to transform how Torontonians move throughout the city. and improve equity and enhance economic opportunities. That said, the costs, both financial and social, are staggering. The ballooning budget raises serious concerns about the fiscal accountability. Meanwhile, Metrolinx's lack of meaningful consultation with communities has only added to this frustration. The recent controversies surrounding property acquisitions in Thorncliffe and incomplete environmental assessments suggest the agency is prioritizing speed over thoughtful planning. The Eglinton Crosstown debacle looms large here. If the Ontario line follows a similar trajectory, delays, cost overruns, and underwhelming results, Toronto will have a hard time justifying this level of disruption. Metrolinx must provide more robust compensation and support for residents and businesses affected by construction. That means rent subsidies, relocation assistance, and grants for small businesses to stay afloat. Torontonians deserve regular, detailed updates about project timelines and costs. Any deviations from the plan should come with clear explanations. Metrolinx needs to actively engage with communities, not just hold performatory town halls. Addressing local concerns should be a priority, not an afterthought. While delays are sometimes inevitable, Metrolinx's history of missing deadlines erodes public trust. A more realistic timeline would prevent the endless cycle of dashed expectations. The Ontario line has the potential to reshape Toronto's transit network for the better. It's a bold vision that could finally address decades of underinvestment in infrastructure. But the project's execution so far leaves a lot to be desired. The residents and businesses bearing the brunt of construction deserve better, and the city cannot afford another Eglinton Crosstown style fiasco. So, is the Ontario line worth it? Well, in the long term, absolutely. But right now, it feels like a necessary evil, a reminder that building for the future often comes with significant growing pains. Whether those pains will be worth it depends on whether the city and Metrolinx can get their act together. At the end of the day, I really do understand that we do need to have the Ontario line built. However, what I also think is that people that are displaced, such as businesses, communities, residents, etc., should be properly compensated for this by Metrolinx and the government. Here's hoping they do. I hope that you liked the video. If so, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed and want to be notified of new videos that are released, please click on the Art Toronto button here. This is the video that I would recommend for you to watch next, and I'm sure that you're going to love it. Here's the playlist for all of the latest in transit news and views that you're going to find very informative and interesting. And finally, here is the latest video. Thanks for watching and happy transiting.